Hey everyone, Lance Earl here. I started the day with other plans, but this suddenly took precedence. I have had a very bizarre experience with the Mormon Church. As you may recall, I was excommunicated a few months ago. I captured audio of that excommunication hearing, and as a part of that hearing, you can hear me giving a peaceful, respectful, in a quiet voice testimony of Jesus Christ. I was just bearing witness of this God that I have come to love so much. And as I did that, a security guy was brought into the room, and you can hear him threatening me that if I don't leave, I'll be arrested. And in the background, you can hear the stake president placing a 911 call and making a false police report indicating that I was causing a disturbance. Now, the crazy thing is that they, thinking that I was not recording this meeting, they fabricated this lie. They created this disturbance which never happened. They called the police. 3 officers showed up, and that all went away because they soon realized that it was just stupidity. But they also sent a letter down to Salt Lake, and Salt Lake directed their attorneys to send a letter to me prohibiting me from entering all church properties. Now, I don't really care to go onto church properties except for one thing. I have a family who is Mormon. I have nephews and nieces who will be getting married. They will be having receptions. I have people in our family who will be baptized, and there will be ordinations and baby blessings, and even family members that I love very much who will die, and their funerals will be in Mormon churches. And so if the church doesn't like me, fine. If the church wants to throw me out and excommunicate me, fine. I don't care. I'm happy to be where I am. But the church has taken the extra step. It's strictly and entirely retaliatory. They simply want to hurt me where they can hurt me. And one of the ways they can do that is make sure that I am forever banned from every meaningful family event from here on out. And so I have this letter. I contacted the offices of Kirton and McConkie, the church's legal office, yesterday, and I indicated that I simply want this letter to go away because I have not made any threats. I do not represent a physical danger to church members, even though the letter says that I do, which I assume means that Stake President Garn Lovell wrote a lie, manufactured a lie, and then called on this legal office to enforce the lie. So anyway, I called and I had some questions. They promised that someone would get back to me, and I got a phone call back today from Dan McConkie, attorney at law at Kirton McConkie. We had a very interesting conversation. I'm going to let that speak for itself, but I do want to make one point because I think it is I think it is heartbreaking. I am banned from everything that will be meaningful to my family. What the church is doing is they are intentionally creating more separation in my family where things are already difficult. And I was talking with someone today. After this phone call, I was talking to them and was a little frustrated because the church has continued with their vengeance and continued to try to hurt me in every way they possibly can. And so I was talking with this person, and this person is a dear family member. This person loves me. I love this person. But I don't know. I think that the love coming back from this person is a little bit broken. You see, this person has no problem admitting that what the church is doing is wrong. This person has no problem saying that, oh, yeah, no, you've not done anything to justify this. This person has no problem in saying, my heart is broken. I cannot believe that they're doing this. It is so wrong, so unjust. And yet this same person said to me just today, don't publish the audio of your phone call. Don't do it. This same person would watch me be destroyed by a modern-day Sanhedrin and would remain silent. And I can't comprehend that. I do not understand how a person can do that. And I'm not trying to be hurtful, but I am saying, my gosh, open your eyes. You defend the church and you see the fruits of the church. You say the church is good, but you see the evil fruits and you acknowledge them. It cannot be both ways. So anyway, I'm just going to let the audio from my phone conversation play. And I think what you will see is you will see absolute evidence that the church quickly and willingly and intentionally creates false evidence and makes false accusations against people. Hey, there is one thing that I want to make really, really clear before we jump into the recording of this phone call. And that is that the attorney from Kirton McConkie, he says that he has a file that shows that I have made many threats to the bishop and stake president here in my area. Many threats. Now, I have no idea what he's got in his file. I don't know if the attorney lied about having those records, or I don't know if the local church authorities lied when they manufactured false records. I don't know what's down there. Here's what we do know. If you listen to the audio recording of my excommunication hearing, you will hear me quietly, peacefully, patiently bearing witness of Jesus Christ while being threatened with legal actions and at the same time having a 911 call going out that suggests that I am causing a disturbance. Now, the one thing that we do know, even though we don't know what these other accusations are about, we do know that Garn Lovell, Stake President Garn Lovell, a representative of the Lord Jesus Christ, Garn Lovell, a man called by the prophet of God according to Mormonism, Garn Lovell, lied and manufactured a disturbance that never occurred. This we know with absolute certainty. Based on that, the rest of the evidence that the church has accumulated against me, well, you decide.
Hello, I was looking for Mr. Larry Earl.
You have got him.
Mr. Earl, my name is Dan McConkie. I'm an attorney at Kirton McConkie. I have a note here to give you a phone call, sir.
Yes, I appreciate it very much. I received a letter from you folks back in, I don't have it in front of me right now, back in August, I think. I guess you probably have the letter in front of you, right?
I do not.
Oh, okay. Well, long story. Excuse me?
Who signed the letter, sir?
No one. It just had Kirton McConkie on it.
All right. Also, is it a PNG letter?
A what letter?
Is it a letter disinviting you from coming onto church property?
It certainly is.
Okay.
Okay.
What I can do for you, Mr. Earl?
Well, first of all, what's your name again?
It was Dan McConkie.
Okay. Okay, anyway, long story short, I'm pretty active, and I see that you guys do some civil rights defense work down there. I write a weekly column for the Idaho State Journal. I teach Constitution classes. I ran for the state legislature a few years ago. I'm very active and know a little bit about the rights that we ought to have. In 2015, I wrote a column that my bishop and stake president didn't like. It had nothing to do with the church. I was talking about the evils and the injustices of farmers who enroll great tracts of land in CRP contracts and make millions of dollars from the taxpayers, never lifting a finger to do anything. And I was told by my stake president and the bishop that I could no longer write of my faith because I talk of faith and freedom, all in the same voice, that I could no longer justify my ideas with my faith because I do quote from the Bible and that sort of thing. And when I wouldn't bow down to them, they They just continued to push hard. Anyway, last summer there was a excommunication hearing. They didn't know that I was taping it, and during the hearing, I at one point started to bear witness of Jesus Christ. I never raised my voice. I never came out of my chair. I was peaceful, and I was told that if I didn't shut up and leave immediately, that there would be charges of trespassing. And so my testimony lasted about 3 minutes, and then I got up and left. I have received a letter from you folks stating that I represent physical danger to all Mormon people, and specifically to the stake president, and yet you can listen to the audio. I will make it available to you. I never threatened anyone. I never threatened to threaten anyone. I have never caused any type of a disturbance. Now, here's the problem. I've never caused any type of a disturbance on church property, though I have found Jesus, and I know that the Mormon church is simply not true. And I share that through my podcasts and through my columns and those different things, and that's where the whole rub comes in. But the long story short is I am still a member of a Mormon family. I have a favorite nephew coming home in a month from a Tongan mission. I want to go and wrap him in a bear hug and welcome him home. I have nieces and nephews who will be married. There are children who will be blessed, and ordinations and many things. Now, I have done nothing wrong. The stake president manufactured a lie. He sold it to you, and you are enforcing it. I want this to go away. I'm not going to cause any trouble on church property, but I have a family, and there is no reason for the church to be restricting me from even attending my mother's own funeral. Why would you guys do that?
I get a different story from the bishops and from the stake president.
Very good. Would you like to listen? Would you like to listen to the audio, because there is unimpeachable truth? Do you want the truth or do you want the lie? Because I have the truth. I have.
Say that, Mr. Earl.
What's that?
Because I remember 911 being phoned at your very disciplinary council.
Yes, exactly right. Well, he manufactured. Now you can actually listen to the audio, and you can listen to me making a 3-minute testimony of Jesus Christ quietly, patiently, peacefully, and you can hear the 911 call happen in the back. The stake president lied. I have proof. Do you want to listen to the audio, or do you not?
No, I do not.
So you would rather...
My feeling is, Mr. Earl, this has gone on long before your 3-minute testimony of our Savior. The fact of the matter is, I have an entire history of what you've been doing up there and the threats you've been making. And in doing that, our client, through the priesthood leaders, has asked us to send a letter to you disinviting you from coming onto our property.
The threats I have been making. Can I please get a copy of that?
Get a copy of what?
Of the letters that you have that talk about the threats I've been making.
No, those are all attorney-client privilege. You're no longer a member of the church, Mr. Earl. So this is my suggestion, sir. Just abide by the letter. If you feel like you want to have the letter lifted or amended or revised, you can start with your local bishop and with President Lovell. That's where the process begins. You mean the people that issued the illegal, unconstitutional, in violation of free agency gag order that told me I could never speak of my faith again in my columns, my podcasts, my Constitution classes. Those are the people you want me to go back to? I'm simply indicating to you, sir, that if you want any revisions in the letter from our client, it starts with the local priesthood leadership. Until then, we would advise you to simply follow what the letter says, or we'll simply contact the authorities. Pretty easy.
Does it trouble you to be a mindless, blind puppet? Because that's what you are, because I have got the audio. I have the gag order. I have all of those things that you can look at which are unimpeachable, and you say, no, I don't want to see that. I would prefer to be... No.
I can see where the bishop and the stake president come from, sir.
Yes, I'm sure that you can, because a puppet does not want to be called a puppet. I'm sure that you can
Once
see
you
that.
advise or amend the letter, sir, starts with the priesthood leaders and tell them just follow the recommendations or else the authorities will be notified.
You, sir, are a coward.
You have a good one. Thanks.
Bye.